Accept in this moment that you are God's creation of love, that you would have the recognition within that everything of the truth of your being is love itself, created in perfection in the heart of the divine. The truth is that creation, the divine love, can't make anything that's not perfect. It's not possible. Can't create other than perfection. To accept this truth is to deny all ideas of difficulty and battle of any kind. How can perfection of love have a problem? How can the perfection of love not have the power within to navigate easily and effortlessly the temporary world? Every beloved is being called to learn the way of perfection, to accept only perfection from within, not with criticism, not with judgment, but with the recognition that if there is a disturbance, if there is an upset, if there is an idea of difficulty, it is there to be transformed. It is there to be given to the heart of God, because it cannot be reconciled within. You will never reconcile difficulty. The only way of healing is to deny its actuality, to deny it your energy field. Not because it's horrible or because it's to be hated, but because it doesn't exist. It's not reality. And it will never be understood. To try to understand illusion is impossible, because it has no basis for truth. If you saw someone sitting on a street corner and you asked them, why are you sitting here talking to yourself? And they were saying, I'm trying to understand the complexities of my mind, make sense of it all. you would see a beloved who was forgotten in an illusion. To accept peace and harmony and joy as your natural state is absolutely what you're here for. To accept, not to understand. Sometimes understanding comes, sometimes it doesn't. But it's not the center. The center is acceptance. To accept and follow the way of love, the way of peace, the way of joy, because it is what you are. Inherently, it is what you are. There's nothing else that is true of you. And because there is nothing else that is true of you, it doesn't mean that in any way what you are is diminished. You are everything that is reality. You're every drop of rain is what you are. Every grain of sand is what you are. Every wave of the ocean is what you are. Every star is what you are. You are one with the sun. You are one with the moon. You are one with all creation. You are one with every little creature that you see running somewhere. That's you. Not the you that you identify with when you look in the mirror or when you think even, but you as the divine, one with all creation. So you look at the stars, you don't think, oh, they're so far away. No, they're right here. They are right here within you, and they're your divine communication because they're you. Again, there's no understanding, but it is essential to accept the beauty and the perfection that you are. At the same time that you're accepting this perfection, this beauty, it's in total equality with every part of creation, of love. It is such a blessing to never have to compete for anything. Everything that is perfectly orchestrated is always available. It may not agree with the mind that thinks it knows what is good or bad. It's nothing about that. It's about the acceptance that all the blessed grace of creation is within you. And that there is no way possible to make it better. There is no more improvement. Imagine that you're never going to get a piece of paper that says needs improvement on it. And there's never going to be another thought that's going to say needs improvement, because within is all perfection. And it's just returning to that acceptance and wouldn't be willing to remember. There is nothing, I've said this before, but there is nothing on the side of God, of love, that makes it difficult to remember. I used to believe that I used to believe that it was difficult on the side of God, that God was making it difficult, that there had to be hoops to jump through and proving worth. These lies have no reality. There is nothing in love that wants to make it difficult or does make it difficult. The door is always open. The answer is always given. The lessons are always there, available for help. Not just written lessons, but the lessons in the everyday living. And every moment has the opportunity of remembering love, remembering the truth that is within and accepting it. It is not arrogance that accepts perfection. It is humility. It is arrogant to deny your perfection, because that arrogance says, I know the truth and God doesn't. And that is not the way of love, because the universe is all the divine truth of creation and love. And you are rejoining, coming home to the place that in truth you never left. But when you don't remember, it doesn't matter whether you actually left or you didn't leave. You aren't remembering that you're there with God. So how brilliant is it that you can actually just say yes? You can say yes all day long. Yes, I am the light of God. Yes. Nothing is difficult in the name of God. And all grace is given to me because I am loved. There is a resistance to that ownership. I am love and I am loved. Don't be afraid of it. Invite it, own it, rest with it. I am loved and I am love. The ego likes to hold an idea that to admit that you are loved and that you are love itself is arrogance. And you may even hear a voice that says, don't be ridiculous. You have a long way to go. No, you have no way to go. You are already everything. The only thing that's waking up is your awareness to what is all love. In this exquisite moment, you can accept. I am the divine creation of God. I am love. I am. I am. I am. Let your heart burst. Let it be filled with truth, and rest with that love. And if a thought comes that says something else, not interested. And any attachment or paying attention to what is lacking in any way, give it back, surrender it. Only love. God's will is for your happiness, for your joy right here, right now. To accept that you are the light of God is joyful because it is what you are. So in this moment of divine creation, affirming that there is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force of God, we live and move and breathe love itself as one heart, one love. Every beloved is your reflection, not a stranger. Beyond brother, beyond sister, the beloved is you. This sanctuary is filled with love because there is nothing else. This universe is all love, waiting to be embraced. The light of God is shining now. Has nothing to do with the darkness outside, the lack of sun. The light of God is shining now. And it radiates within. Let that light shine. It's perfect. This prayer that I've sung several times is a call to the ease of the beauty of healing. And here is a divine love, a divine awakened being that is saying, listen here and pay keen attention. To go very slowly, to not mistake the road, the path. Go slowly because in the slowness, you can converse with the divine. You can be present in the moment and accept the beauty of what is right now. Sister, brother, pay keen attention. Go very, very slowly to not mistake your path. Sister, brother, keep your feet on the ground. Be careful with your pride. Be careful with your vanity. Sister, brother, go very, very slowly. Be careful with the traps of life in your path. Sister, brother, Journey with attention, sincerity in the heart, to walk well on this path. To go very slowly is to breathe and to be present, easily, with little effort, just the listening. Here I am asking, Lord, 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 my beloved Master, Lord, 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 my heart. Here I present myself to fulfill my mission, my path, my way. Here I present myself with all of my heart. I ask my mother to guide me, show me through love. I ask my mother with all my heart. Oh, my mother, my beloved mother, guide me. May every step I take be in your hand. Oh, my Father, divine, divine Father, show me always the way. And with you by my side, I cannot fall. I cannot be alone in this journey of love. Here I am at your feet, and I kneel with humility. Here at your feet, I ask for charity, so that I may serve to bring healing to everyone with humility in my heart, to heal everyone in the name of love itself. Señor, 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 meu mestre amado, Señor, 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 meu coração, aqui me apresento para cumprir minha missão. Aqui me apresento de todo meu coração. Eu peço a minha mãe me guiar com vosso amor. Eu peço a minha mãe de todo meu coração. Oh my amada, guia esta missão. Cada passo que der, esteja em vossa mão. Aqui é vossos pés, me ajo com humildade. Aqui a vossos pés, eu peço e caridade a todos eu curar, com humildade meu coração, a todos eu curar, em nome da salvação. Here at your feet, I kneel with humility. Here at your feet, I ask for charity. When we kneel, when we prostrate in the name of love, it's a beautiful place within that recognizes I don't have a clue where I'm going or what I'm doing. But I am aware that there is a divine wisdom that is leading me. And in that, it becomes this beautiful place of humility. And whether you're physically prostrated or you are just having your heart prostrate, it's an acknowledgement that I must be led. I don't know the way, but I am always in the hands of love that is leading me. And when you have that acceptance in your heart, it's easy to follow. And it's an unburdening. When you prostrate with humility, it's an unburdening. It's a letting go of a idea of humiliation, of being told that you're small and you don't know the way says something about your intelligence, but it doesn't. How can we know the way? The road is being opened as we walk. And the road behind is burning up because it's the past. And so you follow. It's a blessing that the road is burning up behind you. Because you don't have to bring the past with you. And it's when you're truly letting it go, it burns up. So that you don't have to dance the dance of limitation anymore. Here at your feet, I kneel with humility. Here at your feet, I ask for charity. In the name of salvation, to bring healing love to everyone. Because that's all there is to do. Prayer is such a magnificent power. And prayer has been the power of love since separation began. But the truth of prayer can bring you home so quickly. I thank you and praise you, dear Lord, for saving me from this seeming disaster. I cried out, "Help me, dear God, I'm frightened and I've lost my way." You came to me in the perception of darkness and you breathed life into my bones. You plucked me from the perception of an abyss. You healed me and I remembered wholeness. You rescued me from despair. You turned my lament into dancing. You lifted me up. You took off my mourning and you clothed me with joy. Sing to the Lord, you who love. Thank from the depths of your heart. For though he may seem to be absent, in your recognition is eternal life, and tears may linger when night falls, but joy arrives with the dawn. Therefore, my soul blesses God. With every breath that I take, my song will be filled with eternal gratitude, and my silence will be filled with the praise of love. There is nothing that prayer cannot heal of the heart. I thank you and praise you for saving me from this perceived disaster. It is so beautiful to have the willingness to have the awareness that you are safe and that the power of God will transform all seeming disaster. Help me, dear God. I'm frightened and have lost my way. Maybe most of humanity thinks that saying, help me, dear God, I've lost my way, is some kind of weakness. But it's actually an admitting truth that everyone who has forgotten the truth of who they are has lost their way. And the help is needed to come back to the truth of love. In prayer, it is not the time to be shy. In prayer, let your heart sing. Let your heart commune. Offer all your secrets. Offer all of your fears. Release and unburden yourself from any idea of difficulty. That is where you turn. You don't turn to your mind to solve a problem. You don't turn to your mind to figure out how to negotiate in the world. You turn to the divine and you ask for that help. And the help comes in divine inspiration. And it will always be of love. It will always be of harmony. It will never be in battle. It will never be to be right. It will never be to win. It will never be to prove anything. It will always be for harmony and joy and peace. And the prayer itself will open your heart. If you are weeping when you are praying, it means your heart is breaking open. And you are touching into the awareness that love is present. Love is here. There is nothing that prayer can't resolve. I cannot see in darkness, dear God. Let the light of holiness and truth open my heart and let me see the innocence within. This is a prayer that you offer to your most intimate connection, because that intimate connection is everything that created you. Everything of the divine is completely the perfection of you. The most intimate love. The holy relationship where you truly recognize your beloved and you rest in that beautiful connection. Unnameable God, I feel you with me in every moment. You are my food, my drink, my sunlight, and the air that I breathe. You are the ground that I have built on and the beauty that rejoices my heart. I give thanks to you at all times for lifting me from my confusion, for teaching me in the dark and showing me the path of life. I have come to the center of the universe and I rest in your perfect love. In your presence there is a fullness of joy and blessedness forever and ever. When these prayers were brought into manifestation, they were for every beloved to be able to spark and remember and awaken to the love. This beloved who brought through this prayer was not afraid of the divine relationship. You are my food, my drink, my sunlight, and the air that I breathe. I give you my life because my life is yours. Don't be afraid of that divine connection. Don't believe in the ego's strategy that says I'm going to stay a little separate here so that I can stay in control. No, just melt into the divine. It's always there. The grace of God is given you and you can claim it now, right now, because it is all yours. The great work. Love is the great work. Though every heart is first an apprentice that slaves beneath the city of lights. This wondrous trade, this magnificent throne, your soul is destined for. You should not have to think much about it. Is it not clear? An apprentice needs a teacher who himself has charmed the universe to reveal its wonders inside his cup. Happiness is the great work. Though every heart must first become a student to one who really knows about love. Every heart is first an apprentice. It's a beautiful place to be an apprentice to the divine. In that place of being an apprentice, the purpose of the acknowledgement of being an apprentice is to acknowledge that in this world, everything is ignorance. And that we must become an apprentice to the truth, to surrender everything that we thought we knew before. The complete acceptance of ignorance is not something that anyone in the normal journey within the world would be putting on their resume. I'm here for the complete acceptance of my ignorance is not what you want on your tombstone, but it is the truth. Everything that you're letting go of is what you knew in the past. And none of it is the truth of love. There is a belief for many that says that some of what is in the illusion of the ego is worth keeping. I was very gifted in a very simple way. One of the first teachers that I was called to, there's only a few of her teachings that are still centered right in the heart. And one of them was, you will not need your mind for anything except to tie your shoes. And in that, everything was shifted. How was I going to learn? How was I going to function? And yet, the divine has no problem in running the universe. So the divine can run this life and run it perfectly. I was willing to accept that, except for tying my shoes, I wasn't going to need the mind. Why is it that if you want the truth, that there is a complete acceptance of ignorance at the same time? That's the fast road. Because eventually everybody comes to the same awareness that the truth of love has nothing to do with what you've known in the world. It's not an attack to accept that it's all been made up. That's what ignorance is. It's just something that's made up. It's not stupidity. It's just not true. And God is just calling you to accept that element so that the truth can fill your heart and fill your mind, and you give the mind back to God. Only love is calling to you. There's a prayer that was written right very close to when Jesus was on the earth. And this beloved was a disciple. If I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not love, then I am only a sounding gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so that I can move mountains, but I have not love, then I am nothing. And if I give all I possess to the poor, and if I give my body to be burned and have not love, then I am of no use for anything. This was straight shot, no qualms, because it all comes back to love. And there is no knowing of love until you embrace the divine. That is where your truth and your perfect identity is, in the love that you are. It's very simple. To love is to be empty and full at the same time. To love is to accept that you don't know who you are, because there's nothing to be in the sense of an identity. And yet you accept that you are the divine creation of God. And you don't even know what that is, because it's everything. It's just a deep, deep acceptance. When your heart is full, no thought can get in the way. Love is a catalyst. Love is a healing agent. Love is a transforming power of the universe. And it is what you are. It doesn't have anything to do with the Hallmark cards that say love is this and love is that, or love misses everything and love is sad and love is worrying and love is without. No. Love is the power of the universe. And it's just the acceptance of this that transforms. How is it that the greatest gift can be an empty mind? That would seem to be ridiculous. And yet, when you are in your heart, the mind is not engaged, only the heart. There seems to be a confusion with the heart that there should be thoughts that go along with being in the heart. But it's just resting in God. Resting in God is the learning of this world. How can you not rest in God when God is your source of everything? It's carrying you. It's with you all the time. As you, within you, around you. There's nothing else, just that love, just that beauty, just that wonder. Rest in love, rest in God. Is there anything in your everyday life that you come up against and it seems that you need to be directed? It's there for you. It's always there for you because God never leaves you. It's not possible for you to be without. Whether God shows up as someone bagging groceries in the grocery store, or you actually hear the voice of God and are listening, but God is always with you. The spirit of love never steps away, doesn't take coffee breaks, doesn't go on vacation, doesn't clock out at 6 o'clock. You are always held. You are always guided. You are always blessed with God creation. You cannot be without. Why is that important to accept? Because everything in the ego identity says I'm separate. Every ounce of clues and evidence says I'm separate. Being in this form says, look, I'm not sitting over there, I'm sitting over here. I'm separate. And in those private thoughts that go with the separate self, it gets reinforced of I'm separate. I am not connected. And that has to be denied, even though you don't see the evidence otherwise. You have to deny the lie that you can be separate. You cannot be separate. There is no one in this universe that you are not one with. Now, that also makes it imperative that you learn to love everyone as yourself, because everyone is one with you and will be with you for all eternity as one. But we can't rejoin as one with judgment of anything. Only love. Everything is asking you to come back to love. Everything. Because it is your natural state. It is all that you are. It is truly most helpful in your journey of love to not be shy. To not be shy to, I want to remember. There's no shyness in I want to remember. There's no hesitation. I want to remember the truth. And I'm not settling for anything less. Don't be shy. It doesn't serve love. Don't hesitate. I read a teaching once that said, demand it. Demand your birthright. Demand that you be aware of your connection with God. I want to be aware. It isn't that God needs to hear your demand, but your demand stirs within you what you truly want and reminds you, I can demand this. I am saying, I don't want anything else. I want this. And that power, that determination that maybe you used in your life for other reasons, now you surrender determination into the hands of the Holy Spirit and let that determination be used for its divine purpose. I want to remember. And I'm not stopping. It's what I want. It's what I'm here for. It is not a demand because God holds back. It is not a demand because it's difficult from that side. It is a demand to stir your heart, to rev up your intention of what you truly want. Does that have to be reignited almost every day? Yes, it does. Not because it goes someplace, but because the mind comes back in and the trance takes over again, and then you forget. So the demanding keeps you in the pocket of what you truly want and uses your determination to truly remember. Just like these prayers, the Lord is joy and compassion, patience and unchanging love. Higher than the heavens above us, vaster than space is his love. Longer than 10 billion years will he wait for us to return. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on us all. For he knows what we are made of. He remembers completely our lives that are as brief as the grass is, but we blossom like a flower in a field. But the Lord's love is eternal, and that love is everlasting. His law extends through the galaxies and into the atom's core. Bless the Lord, all angels echoing with the sound of light. Bless the Lord, who have grown transparent in his love. Bless the Lord, all creatures through infinite dimensions of the world. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Don't be afraid to gush unto God. Don't be afraid to be the yearning beloved who wants to return home. And don't be afraid to demand help. Show me the way. It's what I want. Teach me. Show me. Go into the closet with God in that divine intimacy where God hears every element of your longing. And longing is a beautiful, beautiful place. Not because you don't already have it, but because it stirs your heart. It stirs your heart of what you truly want. Be a fool for love. The fool for love begs, cries, sings, crawls, all with happiness to be so close and to have so much help. You are so loved. You are so loved that every single prayer that you express is celebrated. Not just received, it's celebrated. Not because the divine is receiving these prayers, but because it means your heart is stirring. And that means that you want to remember. And so all of creation celebrates. Celebrates you because love is waiting for you to return, to be the clear beauty that belongs in just that place, in the heart of God. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I will receive my welcome home. What greater anticipation could there be? I will receive my welcome home. And holding that it's guaranteed you're going to remember. Totally. It's guaranteed. And your heart yearns and celebrates the truth that is. prayers. Let them flow. If you have to use prayers that are already written, that's perfect. It's beautiful. And at some point, your heart is going to take off and have its own prayer. And it will be perfect too. And whether it's a prayer that has been brought by someone, it's yours. It's yours because if it speaks to your heart, it is yours. It is not meant to be kept private. It is meant to be expressed. And it is a blessing every time a beloved uses a prayer to express the heart. Everyone who has used that prayer is blessed as you use that prayer. And it stirs and shakes up the universe every time in beauty, in perfection. No fear. No fear of the intimacy with God. Embrace that love.